Okay, so to solve this inequality, to find the set of values for x, that this inequality is true, we first of all look at the critical points, okay? So where the curve equals to 0, where it crosses the x-axis, okay? So put it equals to 0, and we're going to solve this then, okay? Now, because it's a quadratic, you can have two brackets, and we've got to factorize this. Now, when you have a value in front of the x squared that's greater than 1, okay, then there's a little bit more work involved in factorizing. The one approach, okay, you could use, there's lots of ways of actually factorizing this, but one approach is whatever number is there, right? Well, we've got 2x squared, haven't we? So we put 2x in both of these brackets, okay? And then when you do this grid over here with multiply add, okay, it's a bit different to when you've got 1 in front of the x squared. What you do now is you multiply, okay, what's in front of the x squared by the constant here. So 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, so we want our two numbers to multiply to give 24. Our two numbers here. Okay, got to multiply to give 24 and add up then to give minus 11. Alright, so if we think of pairs of numbers that multiply to give 24, well, 1 and 24, okay, 1 times 24, but you can't get them to add up to give minus 11. 2 times 12, okay, but you can't get that to be minus 11. 3 times 8, that's 3 and 8, you can get them to be minus 11 if you make them both minus, okay, gets to minus 11, and they multiply to give 24. So I'm going to put here minus 3 minus 8. And one more thing we should do then really is, because we use this method where we times the constant here by 2, okay, we're going to sort of divide now by 2, okay, because there's a factor of 2 in here. That's what's going to happen with this approach. So we look at the first bracket and you can see that there's no factor of 2, isn't there? You know, it's just 2x minus 3, no common factors. But here 2 is a common factor, isn't it? So what I'll do is I'll take 2 out, factorize it, so I can put it in the middle there, and then in the bracket I ask myself, what do I times by 2 to get 2x? Well, that'll be x. What do I times by 2 to get 8? And that'll be 4, of course, or minus 4, isn't it, to give you minus 8. So what that does is then it sort of like cancels out what we did earlier on, because we multiplied by 2, didn't we? Okay, now we've got a factor of 2 in here, so we'll divide by 2 now, and it sort of gets rid of that. And we've got then our pair brackets, which we can now solve, okay? So equal to 0, either the first one is equal to 0, yeah? Or the second one is equal to 0. So if the first one is equal to 0, you take that 3 over, wouldn't you? Minus 3 over becomes 3, and then x becomes 3 over 2. 1.5, and here x becomes 4. Okay, so then we just solve the inequality. Okay, so we've got these two values here. So we can draw our quadratic or smiley face at these two particular values, right? So we've got 1.5 and 4. So 1.5 is here, 4 is here. Okay, I usually leave as a fraction, to be fair though. Okay. So if we turn it around, I can draw my quadratic. Okay. Now in this particular instance, right, in this question, I'm interested in when the inequality is greater than 0. Okay. So where the curve is positive. So it's positive here and here, isn't it? Okay. That's where the curve is positive there. So essentially x is going to be greater than 4. All the values above 4 will be positive curve. Okay, and the same here then, x will be less than 1.5, yeah? Okay, will give me positive values to the curve. So we can put it as a fraction, yeah? So x is less than 3 over 2, or don't forget x is less than 4. Put the O in because you can be in either region, okay? Can't be both at the same time.